Direction isn't a luxury, it's survival. Most people aren't lost because they lack effort. They're lost because their energy has no direction. They wake up, do what they've always done, and wonder why nothing changes. They chase motivation, but not clarity. They talk about what they want, but never plan for it. Days turn into weeks, and weeks into years, and suddenly, life feels like motion without progress. This message isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about understanding that your life will never move forward by accident. You need structure, you need focus. You need a reason to wake up and know exactly what you're building. The people who achieve real success don't wait for the right time, they create it by planning their direction and sticking to it. In this video, you'll learn how to move from guessing to growing. You'll discover how to take control of your goals, your habits, and your mindset. You'll understand why clarity is more powerful than motivation, and why action without purpose keeps you stuck. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to start with a plan that pulls you forward. Because once you give your life direction, progress stops being a dream and starts becoming your new normal. Number 1, face your reality and stop hiding behind hope. Life doesn't change just because we wish it would. It changes when we finally face the truth about where we are and stop pretending that hope alone will carry us forward. Hope is a good thing. It gives us energy, it gives us light, but without a plan, without honest eyes on the reality of our situation, hope becomes a hiding place. And too many people live in that hiding place for years, telling themselves that something will change someday, that things will get better on their own. Nothing moves until you do. Facing reality is not about being negative. It's about being responsible. It's about saying to yourself, this is where I am. This is what I have. This is what I've been doing. And most importantly, this is what needs to change. That's where growth begins. The problem is, facing reality feels uncomfortable. It means admitting mistakes, accepting that we've wasted time, and seeing that some of our habits are pulling us backward instead of pushing us forward. But here's the truth. Growth only happens in the presence of honesty. If you're not honest with yourself, you can't fix what's broken. You can't improve what you won't confront. People spend years hiding behind good intentions. They say, I want to get in shape. I want to start a business. I want to fix my life. But wanting is not enough. The world is full of people who wanted to change but never did. They stayed comfortable in their wishful thinking. They told themselves they were waiting for the right time, the right mood, or the right opportunity. And before they knew it, another year went by, then 5, then 10. Hope turned into regret. If you want progress, start by seeing your situation as it is, not as you wish it was. Stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Are you really doing what it takes? Are you being disciplined or distracted? Are you managing your time or wasting it on things that don't matter? Most people already know the answers. They just don't want to face them, because facing them means changing them. And change takes effort. It takes discomfort. But if you can handle that discomfort for a short time, you can create the life you've always talked about. The moment you face reality, everything shifts. Suddenly, excuses lose their power. You start to see where your time is going. You notice the gap between what you say you want and what you actually do. That gap is where most people live. They say, I want to improve, but they don't plan, they don't track, they don't commit. And because there's no plan, there's no progress. Life doesn't reward wishful thinkers. It rewards planners, doers, and learners. Those who take small steps every day toward a real goal. You might say, but Jim, I'm scared to face it. I don't like what I'll see. I understand that fear. I've been there too. There was a time when I looked at my life and realized I was broke, unhealthy, and undisciplined. It wasn't easy to admit, but that was the day I changed, because that was the day I stopped lying to myself. It's not failure that holds us back, it's denial. When you face your reality, you reclaim your power. You can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. And you can't adjust them if you're pretending the storm doesn't exist. Think about this. Every successful person you admire had to face a hard truth before they grew. They had to say, I'm not where I want to be. They had to confront their habits, their fears, their patterns. It's not courage that comes first, it's honesty. And once you get honest, courage follows. Because once you know what needs to be done, your mind begins to work on solutions instead of excuses. You have to stop telling yourself that things will magically improve. They won't. Not until you start improving. Not until you take ownership of your days, your habits, your choices. Every area of your life, your health, your money, your relationships, your work, will only grow when you decide to stop living in hope and start living in truth. You can't keep saying someday. There is no someday. There's only today. And if you waste today waiting for tomorrow, you'll waste tomorrow the same way. Here's a question worth asking yourself. What am I avoiding? Most people are not lazy. They're afraid. They're afraid to face the truth about their potential. Because once you see what you're capable of, you can't go back to excuses. You'll know too much. You'll know that your best life is possible, but only if you stop hiding. Hiding behind hope is easy. You can convince yourself that you're being positive. You can say, things will get better soon. But that kind of hope is just a soft blanket that keeps you from doing the work. If you want real hope, it must be backed by a plan. A plan gives hope direction. It turns your energy into results. When you plan, you stop drifting. You start driving. You move with purpose. You wake up knowing what needs to be done. And even if you don't feel motivated, your plan pulls you forward. You can't build momentum on wishful thinking. You build it on structure. The human mind works best when it knows what to do next. When there's no plan, the mind wanders, doubts grow, distractions take over. That's why facing reality is the first step. It gives your mind something to work with. Once you see the truth, you can plan around it. You can say, this is what's not working. Here's how I'll fix it. And once you start doing that, something amazing happens. You begin to respect yourself again. You begin to trust yourself. Because you're no longer living in fantasy. You're living in action. When you wake up tomorrow, look at your life with clear eyes. Ask yourself, am I on track? Do my actions match my words? If I keep living this way, where will I be in 5 years? Don't answer these questions with emotion. Answer them with honesty. The answers might sting, but that sting is good. It's your wake-up call. The pain of truth is better than the comfort of denial, because denial keeps you still, but truth moves you forward. The beauty of reality is that once you face it, it stops controlling you. When you stop running from your problems, you start solving them. When you stop pretending, you start progressing. You stop wasting time on fantasy goals and start building real ones. You can't fix what you won't look at, but once you look, you can rebuild anything. You can rebuild your health, your habits, your business, your life, if you face the facts and then act. People think planning is boring. It's not. It's freedom. It's clarity. It's the way out of confusion. When you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, you move differently. You stop comparing yourself to others because you're busy improving yourself. You stop chasing motivation because you have structure. You stop saying, I'll try, and start saying, I will. If you're tired of feeling stuck, start by being brutally honest with yourself. Don't sugarcoat. Don't blame. Just look. Where are you wasting time? Who are you listening to? What are you avoiding? Every answer gives you a step forward. Every truth gives you a new level of power. This is not about guilt, it's about growth. It's not about judgment, it's about awareness. You can't grow in the dark. You need light. And truth is light. The people who make progress are not smarter or luckier. They're simply real with themselves. They don't say, everything's fine. They say, I need to fix this. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create better ones. They don't hope for a miracle. They become the miracle through their discipline, their honesty, their plan. So today, stop hiding behind hope. Hope will not build your dream. Hope will not fix your health. Hope will not make your finances better. Only action will. Only clarity will. Only a plan will. Start where you are, with what you have, and face it all. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stop pretending everything is fine when it's not. Because once you face your truth, you can change it. That's the foundation of all progress. No plan, no progress. And the first plan you make begins with one brave decision to face your reality, own it, and start building from there. Number 2, take one honest step toward your better life. Every change begins with one honest step. Not a perfect step, not a big step, just one honest step. The kind that says, I'm done lying to myself about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. Most people wait for the perfect plan, the right mood, or the right moment before they act. But the truth is, there's no perfect moment to start improving your life. There's only now. Right now is the only moment that's real. And if you waste it thinking, doubting, or waiting, you lose ground you'll never get back. You've got to look at your life and ask, what's one honest thing I can do today that moves me closer to who I want to be? It could be small, making your bed, going for that walk, saving $10, saying no to what doesn't help you. That one step may seem minor, but it breaks the cycle of standing still. People often underestimate what one honest step can do. They think progress only comes from big leaps, but most success stories are built on small, consistent actions that started with courage. The courage to move, even when it doesn't look like much. When you take that first step, something inside you changes. You stop being just a thinker or a dreamer, you become a doer. That's where identity starts to shift. You begin to trust yourself because your actions match your words. You stop living in the land of, I'll start soon, and begin to live in the world of, I'm already on my way. The human mind craves progress. It thrives on it. When you act, your brain starts to believe that change is possible. You build momentum, and that momentum feeds your confidence. The problem is, many people wait until they feel ready. But you'll never feel completely ready. You'll always have doubts, always have fears, always have that little voice saying, maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow is built by what you do today. Waiting is a habit, and so is acting. One builds regret, the other builds progress. You have to pick one. That one honest step means doing what aligns with the truth, not what's convenient. It might mean admitting that your habits are not helping you. It might mean cutting ties with someone who drains your energy. It might mean changing how you spend your evenings or how you talk to yourself. Honesty is the hardest part because it exposes what you've been avoiding, but it also frees you. It frees you from the illusion that you can stay the same and still expect a better life. Every person who ever turned their life around started with that single decision to act honestly in one area of their life. Think about it. Someone who's unhealthy doesn't suddenly wake up fit. They start by eating one clean meal, by walking for 10 minutes, by drinking more water. Someone who's broke doesn't suddenly become wealthy. They start by saving a little, learning something new, saying no to waste. Every transformation starts small, but the key is honesty. If you do something just to look busy or feel productive, it won't last. The change only sticks when it comes from truth, not pressure. You don't need to figure out the entire path. You only need the courage to take the next step. One clear, deliberate move in the right direction. The plan will grow as you move. Progress always reveals the next action. But if you never start, you'll never know what's possible. People get stuck because they want certainty before they act. They want guarantees that it will work out. But life doesn't give guarantees, it gives opportunities. You must act first, then learn, then adjust. When you take that honest step, pay attention to how you feel. There's a quiet sense of pride that comes from doing the right thing, even when no one sees it. That's self-respect. That's where real confidence comes from. It's not built by talking yourself up. It's built by keeping promises to yourself. And the first promise you must keep is the one to begin. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to start improving one thing you can control. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about movement. If you're waiting for motivation, you'll be waiting a long time. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. You act first, and then you start to feel better. You build belief by seeing results, even small ones. Each time you take action, you tell your mind, I'm serious about this. And your mind starts to follow your lead. Sometimes, that one step means facing fear directly. It means doing something you've avoided because it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's applying for that job. Maybe it's making a phone call you've been dreading. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for past mistakes. Progress begins where fear loses control. You'll never get rid of fear completely, but you can move despite it. That's what separates growth from stagnation. The people who grow are not the ones who always know what to do. They're the ones who keep doing something. They adjust, they learn, they stay in motion. Progress is not a straight line. It's a constant decision to keep stepping forward, even when you can't see the finish line. Each small, honest action builds a layer of discipline, and that discipline turns into strength. When you start, don't focus on how far you have to go. Focus on the fact that you're finally moving. One day of effort turns into two. Two turns into a week. A week turns into a month. Suddenly, you look back and realize how far you've come. That's the power of one honest step. It creates a chain reaction. Every day you act, you make it harder to quit. You start becoming someone who follows through, and that identity becomes your new normal. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? Failure isn't the opposite of progress, it's part of it. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to stumble. That's how you learn what doesn't work. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't is not luck, it's persistence. The ones who succeed use every setback as information, not as a reason to stop. You'll notice something else when you begin, your standards will rise. You'll start expecting more from yourself. You'll realize how much time you've wasted on distractions, on things that don't feed your growth. You'll stop settling for less because now you've tasted what progress feels like. It's addictive in the best way. You start to crave that feeling of moving forward, of getting better, of proving to yourself that you can. Taking one honest step means taking full responsibility. No one's coming to do it for you. You can have support, advice, encouragement, but the action has to come from you. You can't borrow discipline. You can't outsource courage. You have to build them through effort. That's what makes progress meaningful. It's yours. You earn it. It doesn't matter how slow you go. What matters is that you're in motion. Some people will laugh, some won't notice, but it doesn't matter. The goal is not to impress others, it's to impress yourself. The only competition that matters is the one between who you are and who you're becoming. And every step you take widens that gap. Every choice you make shapes your direction. When you go to bed tonight, ask yourself one question. Did I move forward today? If the answer is yes, you're already winning. If the answer is no, decide what you'll do differently tomorrow. Progress doesn't demand perfection. It demands honesty. If you can look at yourself and say, I gave real effort today, that's success. That's how you build a life that grows stronger every day. Your better life won't show up by accident. It's built step by step, day by day, through choices that reflect truth, not emotion. You have to stop saying, I'll start when I feel ready, and start saying, I'll start because it matters. You already have what you need, the ability to take one honest step right now. When you take it, something powerful happens. You realize that progress was never as far away as you thought. It was always waiting for you to begin. And when you begin, you'll feel it, your mind clears, your focus sharpens, your energy lifts. You become someone who takes charge instead of waiting for things to change. That's how better lives are built. Not from luck or talent, but from one honest step taken again and again until the old life fades and the new one stands tall. So take that step today. Make it real. Make it yours. And when you do, you'll never wonder again what could have been because you'll be living it. Number 3, build structure before your mind builds excuses. The human mind is powerful, but it's also clever in the wrong ways. It can convince you to stay still when you should move, to rest when you should rise, and to wait when you should act. Without structure, the mind finds room to create excuses. It starts whispering reasons to delay, to soften your effort, to justify doing less. That's why structure isn't just about productivity. It's about protection. It protects you from your own tendencies to drift, procrastinate, and explain away your potential. You must build structure before your mind builds excuses. Because once those excuses take root, they'll sound like truth. Every person has the same hours in a day. But the difference lies in how those hours are organized. Without structure, time becomes slippery. You lose track of it, you promise yourself you'll do it later, and suddenly the day is gone. Structure gives time direction. It tells you where your energy goes, what matters most, and what deserves your attention. A plan is not about being rigid. It's about being intentional. When your day has order, your mind finds calm. When your day is chaos, your mind fills with reasons to avoid responsibility. Structure creates clarity. You know when to wake up, what to do, and how to measure progress. You don't have to argue with yourself about whether you'll do it. You already decided. That's the power of pre-deciding. When you wake up without a plan, you leave decisions to how you feel in the moment. And feelings are unreliable. Some mornings you'll feel tired. Some afternoons you'll feel distracted. Some evenings you'll feel lazy. But when structure is already in place, you don't negotiate with your mood. You follow the schedule. That's how discipline grows, through repetition of structure, not bursts of motivation. Excuses grow in the gaps. They fill every space you leave empty. When your time isn't planned, your mind starts inventing justifications. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. I deserve a break. The truth is, you don't need to be harsh with yourself. You just need to remove the gaps where excuses live. Create structure so tight that your mind has nowhere to hide. You don't wait for the day to decide what to do. You decide the night before. You don't wait to feel ready. You make readiness a habit. People often think structure limits freedom, but in reality it creates it. When your day has a system, you gain more control. You know when you're working, when you're resting, and when you're recharging. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Most people are not lazy. They're unstructured. They don't plan their days, and so their days control them. They drift from one task to another, pulled by distractions. Always busy but rarely effective. Structure stops the drift. It draws the line between motion and meaning. Building structure doesn't mean you plan every minute. It means you give purpose to every part of your day. You create blocks of time for what truly matters. Your work, your health, your relationships, your growth. You set priorities and protect them. The mind likes order. When it knows what's next, it stops resisting. Without that order, it gets restless, scattered, and overwhelmed. That's when excuses begin. I can't focus. I don't know where to start. It's too much. But the real problem isn't the task. It's the lack of a framework to handle it. When you build structure, you quiet the noise inside your head. You no longer wake up with uncertainty. You wake up with clarity. You stop wasting energy on deciding and start using it for doing. Excuses thrive on hesitation. They need time to grow. Structure kills hesitation before it starts. That's why successful people plan their days in advance. They know that the morning is too late to decide how the day will go. They take control the night before. Your mind is always trying to protect you from discomfort. It wants ease, not effort. It wants familiarity, not growth. So when you don't have structure, your mind naturally drifts toward the easiest option. Distraction, entertainment, delay. That's why willpower alone isn't enough. Willpower fades, but structure sustains. When you rely only on willpower, you burn out. When you rely on structure, you build consistency. Think about it. The reason most people fail to stick to their goals is not because they're weak. It's because they don't have a system. A goal without structure is a wish. You can't rely on hope to build progress. You need systems that pull you forward even when you're tired or unmotivated. That's why you must build routines that remove choice from the wrong area. You shouldn't decide every day whether to work out, study, or build your business. It should already be part of your structure. The decision is already made. You just show up. Structure is not about control. It's about direction. It's a framework that turns chaos into clarity. You can't think clearly in a cluttered environment. The same goes for your schedule. When everything feels urgent, nothing gets done. Structure gives every task a place and time. And that allows your mind to focus fully on the present moment. You start giving each activity your best, because you're not worrying about what comes next. Excuses usually sound reasonable. That's what makes them dangerous. They disguise themselves as logic. I'll be more productive later. I'm not in the mood today. I need more time to think. These sound harmless, but each one steals momentum. When you have structure, these thoughts lose power. Because your schedule doesn't ask for permission. It gives direction. You train your mind to follow through. And over time, it learns to trust your leadership. When you're structured, you take back control from impulses. You stop reacting to the moment and start responding to the plan. That's when you feel stronger, more grounded, more confident. You no longer ask, what should I do next? You already know. That kind of clarity is what allows real progress to happen. It's easy to underestimate how powerful small structures can be. A simple morning routine, a set time to reflect, a daily list of priorities. These things build the foundation of growth. They may seem small, but they reshape how you think and act. When you follow them consistently, they become part of your identity. And when structure becomes identity, excuses lose their voice. The mind loves patterns. If you don't create productive patterns, it will create destructive ones. It will repeat old habits, repeat old doubts, repeat the same days over and over again. To break that cycle, you must replace it with new structure. You can't just stop bad habits. You have to fill that space with better ones. Replace confusion with clarity. Replace hesitation with planning. Replace reaction with preparation. People who achieve great things are not necessarily more talented. They're more organized. They know where their hours go. They track their progress. They don't let their days slip through their fingers. They don't wake up wondering what to do. They wake up knowing what must be done. They don't depend on good moods to take action. They depend on structure. That's why they keep moving forward when others stop. You have to become that kind of person. Build a structure that serves you, not one that suffocates you. Your structure should fit your goals, your personality, your lifestyle, but it must be solid enough to hold you accountable. Don't build it once and forget it. Review it, adjust it, refine it. Structure is not static. It grows as you do. Without it, life becomes reactive. You spend your days putting out fires instead of building something lasting. You respond to every distraction, every emotion, every demand. And by the end of the day, you've given everything away but gained nothing meaningful. With structure, you take your time back. You decide what deserves your attention. You start managing your life instead of letting it manage you. You might say, I don't like structure. It feels too strict. But ask yourself, how free do you feel without it? Does unplanned freedom actually make you happier? Or does it leave you frustrated and scattered? Real freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's doing what's right for you, without inner resistance. Structure gives you that power. It trains your mind to serve your goals instead of sabotage them. Start simple. Don't try to plan every detail at once. Choose one area of your life that needs order. Your mornings, your finances, your focus, and create a structure around it. Stick with it until it becomes second nature. Once it does, build another one. Slowly, your entire life begins to take form. The best part about building structure is that it creates peace. You stop overthinking. You stop doubting. You move with purpose. You wake up with direction and go to bed with satisfaction. You know what you did, why you did it, and how it serves your bigger vision. There's no room left for guilt because you lived the day on purpose. If you don't build structure, your mind will, but it will build one based on excuses, not progress. It will build routines of avoidance, habits of delay, and patterns of distraction. And that kind of structure only leads to regret. So build the one that serves your future, not your comfort. Build it while you have the chance, because every day without it is a day where excuses grow stronger. You owe it to yourself to create a life that has order, direction, and discipline. Because when you do, your potential stops being an idea. It becomes reality. And that's the moment you realize your life changes the second you stop leaving it to chance and start giving it structure. Number 4, do what scares you until it feels normal. Growth doesn't come from doing what's easy. It comes from doing what scares you until it feels like part of who you are. Fear is not a sign that you're weak. It's a sign that you're standing on the edge of something important. Every person who has ever achieved anything worthwhile has felt fear, doubt, and discomfort. The difference is, they didn't stop when it showed up. They kept going. They kept showing up. They trained their mind to treat fear as a signal to move, not retreat. When you face what scares you, your body reacts first. Your heart beats faster. Your palms sweat. Your thoughts start racing. It's your mind's way of trying to protect you. It's telling you to stay where it's safe, but that same reaction happens. Whether you're about to take a risk that can change your life or make a mistake that embarrasses you. The body doesn't know the difference. Only your mind does. And that's why courage is built in the moments you act. Despite those signals, you can't think your way out of fear. You have to act your way through it. Action is the only way to teach your mind that what scares you isn't fatal. It's growth. The first time you do something uncomfortable, it feels heavy, awkward, and unnatural. The second time, it's still difficult, but less terrifying. The 10th time, it starts to feel normal. And the 100th time, it becomes easy. That's how confidence is built. Not from waiting for fear to disappear, but from showing your brain that you can handle it. Most people let fear decide the limits of their life. They avoid the conversation that needs to happen. They skip the opportunity because they feel unqualified. They hold back ideas because they're afraid of judgment. But every time you let fear win, you teach yourself to settle. You train your mind to believe that safety is more valuable than growth. And that belief slowly kills your potential. When you do what scares you, you interrupt that pattern. You break the habit of hiding. You start sending a new message to your brain. I can handle this. The next time you face something uncertain, your body still reacts, but your mind remembers. It says, I've been here before. I survived. I grew. That's how fear loses control. It doesn't disappear. It just loses its grip on you. The people who grow fast are not fearless. They're practiced. They've trained themselves to walk into discomfort over and over again until it feels familiar. They speak up when it's hard. They take responsibility when it's easier to stay quiet. They try new things, even when they might fail. Every time they do, they expand what feels possible. They build emotional muscle. If you think about it, every meaningful change in your life started with something that scared you. The first time you tried something new, the first time you spoke in front of others, the first time you admitted you were wrong, it all began with fear. But you did it anyway. And that's what made you stronger. That's the process of growth. You step into discomfort, you adapt, you grow, and then it becomes normal. What once terrified you becomes just another part of your life. Avoiding fear keeps you small. Facing it makes you powerful. You don't grow by staying where it's comfortable. Comfort creates stagnation. When you choose safety every time, life shrinks. You start doing less, dreaming less, believing less. Fear becomes your guide, not your guard. But the moment you act despite fear, everything begins to expand. You realize how much more you're capable of. You see that fear was never the wall. It was the doorway. When you're about to do something that scares you, don't try to get rid of the feeling. Expect it. Use it. Fear means you're stretching. It means you're doing something that matters. If you only act when it's comfortable, you'll never know your full capacity. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward while it's still there. Every time you take action in the face of fear, you grow stronger. Every time you avoid it, fear grows stronger. One of you will lead the other. Start with small fears. You don't have to conquer everything at once. Speak up when you want to stay silent. Try something new even if you're unsure. Make that phone call. Apply for that job. Tell the truth even when it shakes you. These are the steps that build real power. You don't build courage by reading about it. You build it by living it. The first few times, fear will feel like it's too much. You'll want to back away. That's normal. But here's the truth. Nothing terrible will happen when you take that step. You'll stumble. You'll feel exposed. But you'll survive. And the next time, it'll be easier. That's how the cycle of growth works. You face what scares you, it loses its strength, and you gain yours. There's a strange kind of freedom in doing what scares you. You realize that fear was mostly in your head. Once you take action, the story you told yourself about how hard it would be starts to dissolve. You see that fear exaggerates everything. It makes small risks look huge, simple steps look dangerous, and normal challenges look impossible. But once you move, you discover how much power you were giving to imagination instead of reality. If you want to build confidence, don't wait until you feel brave. Do what scares you, and confidence will follow. The only way to become comfortable in the uncomfortable is through exposure. Repetition creates comfort. You can't think your way into it. You have to do it until your nervous system learns that it's safe. That's why public speakers who once trembled on stage now walk up with ease. That's why people who were terrified to take risks now run company. They didn't lose fear. They redefined it. Fear is not your enemy. It's your signal. It's pointing to what needs to be done. If something scares you, it's probably connected to growth. It's probably the thing that will change you the most. Fear shows you where your limits are. And when you push through, those limits expand. Every step through fear builds trust in yourself. And that trust is priceless. It makes you unstoppable. The worst part about letting fear win is not the missed opportunity. It's the habit of giving up before trying. That habit spreads into everything. You start to live in a smaller world. You stop applying for things. Stop speaking up. Stop reaching out. Eventually, you stop believing that you can handle hard things. But the moment you challenge fear, you get that belief back. You remember that you're capable, resourceful, and adaptable. You remember that you can handle life as it comes. There's a saying in psychology that the brain can't distinguish between real danger and imagined danger until it has evidence. You have to give it evidence that you're safe in growth. The only way to do that is through experience. You act, you survive. Your brain updates its record. That's why doing what scares you repeatedly eventually makes it feel normal. You've proven to yourself that it's not a threat. It's just new. You can train your mind the same way you train your body. If you lift the same weight forever, your muscles stop growing. You have to increase the resistance. Fear is that resistance for your character. It's how you build mental strength. Every time you take on something that challenges you, you get tougher, calmer, and more capable. You become someone who doesn't run from hard things. You face them head on. When fear becomes familiar, progress becomes automatic. You stop hesitating before new experiences. You stop doubting whether you can handle change. You stop treating challenge like danger and start treating it like training. That's the goal. To make courage your new norm. Imagine waking up knowing that fear won't control you anymore. You still feel it, but it doesn't stop you. You just move anyway. That's when life opens up in every direction. There will always be new fears waiting for you. Each stage of life brings new challenges. But once you've learned to move through fear, nothing can hold you hostage. You'll feel nervous and still take action. You'll feel uncertain and still show up. That's real power. Not comfort, not control, but courage in motion. So ask yourself, what's one thing that scares you right now? What's one thing you've been avoiding because it feels too uncomfortable? That's your next step. Take it. Don't wait until you feel ready. The fear won't go away by thinking. It only fades through doing. Every action you take weakens its hold. You'll never live a fearless life, but you can live a brave one. You can live a life where fear doesn't decide for you. And the only way to get there is to do what scares you until it becomes normal. Do it until it's no longer a mountain, but a memory. Do it until you look back and realize fear never left. It just learned who was in charge. That's the moment you become free. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You stopped running, you started facing, and you grew into the kind of person who moves forward regardless. That's the kind of strength that no one can take from you, because once you've done what scares you and made it feel normal, there's nothing left to fear. Number 5. Control your thoughts, or they will control you. Everything you do begins with a thought. Every success, every mistake, every action, every word, it all starts inside your mind. The quality of your life is shaped by the quality of your thoughts. If you don't learn to control them, they'll control you. The mind is like a powerful engine, but without guidance, it can take you in the wrong direction. One moment it pushes you forward with hope, and the next it pulls you backward with doubt. The difference between progress and paralysis often comes down to who's in charge. You or your thoughts. Most people never stop to notice what's happening in their mind. Thoughts rush in from every direction. Memories, worries, regrets, comparisons, and before they realize it, they're reacting to every one of them. One negative thought triggers another, and soon they're stuck in a loop of fear, guilt, and anxiety. You can't stop thoughts from appearing, but you can choose which ones to give attention to. That's the real skill, learning to separate truth from noise. When your mind is untrained, it becomes your biggest obstacle. It tells you that you can't do it, that you're not enough, that it's too late. And if you don't challenge it, you start to believe it. The more you believe it, the more it becomes your reality. That's how people trap themselves without realizing it. They're not trapped by their circumstances. They're trapped by their thinking. The moment you take back control, you start to change everything. Control doesn't mean forcing yourself to think positive all the time. It means becoming aware of what's going on inside. You can't change what you don't notice. Start paying attention to the tone of your inner voice. Is it building you or breaking you? When you wake up, what kind of thoughts greet you? Are they focused on problems or possibilities? The direction of your thoughts sets the direction of your day. If your first thoughts are negative, the rest of the day follows that pattern unless you interrupt it. The mind is always speaking. It never stops. But not every thought deserves your belief. Some are just echoes of fear. Old stories or opinions you absorbed from others. Learn to question them. When your mind says you'll fail, ask, is that fact or fear? When it says you can't do this, ask, who decided that? By questioning your thoughts, you take away their automatic power. You turn from a passenger into a driver. Training your thoughts is like building a muscle. It takes practice and repetition. Every time you redirect your mind toward what matters, you strengthen that ability. The first step is awareness. The second is replacement. Don't just try to stop thinking negatively. Replace those thoughts with something stronger. When your mind says, I can't handle this, replace it with, I've handled worse. When it says, this is too hard, say hard means growth. Over time, your brain learns new patterns. The people who stay calm under pressure don't have fewer thoughts. They've learned which ones to follow. They've trained their minds to stay focused on what can be done, not what can go wrong. They've learned that their thoughts are not commands, they're suggestions. You can choose to accept or reject them. That choice determines your emotional state, your confidence, and your behavior. Your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions shape your actions. If your thinking is filled with fear, you'll act with hesitation. If your thinking is filled with gratitude, you'll act with confidence. That's why you must guard what you allow into your mind. What you watch, listen to, and talk about all influence how you think. You can't surround yourself with negativity and expect a positive mind. Protect your mental environment the same way you protect your home. Don't let everything in. When life gets difficult, your thoughts will try to pull you back into comfort. They'll whisper, why bother? Or this isn't working. That's when you must stay alert. In those moments, your discipline will be tested. You have to choose thoughts that serve your future instead of your fear. It's not easy. It's a battle. But it's a battle worth fighting, because the one who masters their mind masters their life. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending everything's perfect. It's about directing your focus to what you can control. You can't control what people say, what happens around you, or what already happened, but you can control how you think about it. That single decision can change your mood, your energy, and your direction. You can see a problem as a wall or as a challenge. You can see failure as an ending or as a lesson. The event is the same, but your interpretation changes. One of the most powerful things you can do each day is observe your thoughts without judgment. Just notice what your mind is doing. When you notice negative thinking, don't fight it, just label it. That's doubt, that's fear, that's old thinking. By naming it, you separate from it. You remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. You are the one hearing them. That distance gives you power. If you've ever found yourself overthinking at night, you know how relentless the mind can be. It replays every mistake, every missed opportunity, every fear about the future. It's like a movie that won't stop playing. The way out isn't to argue with it, it's to interrupt it. Get out of bed, write your thoughts down, and remind yourself that worry doesn't fix anything. Thinking has a purpose when it leads to action. Beyond that, it's noise. The more you let your thoughts run wild, the more control they gain. They start shaping your beliefs, and beliefs shape your reality. For example, if you constantly think you're unlucky, your brain will filter out good opportunities because it's already decided they don't exist. That's not fate, it's focus. Whatever you focus on expands. That's why awareness is so important. You can't let the same destructive thoughts live rent-free in your mind. When you control your thoughts, you control your attitude, and attitude determines how you respond to life. Two people can face the same challenge. One sees defeat, the other sees a chance to grow. The difference is not the situation, it's the mindset. A controlled mind looks for meaning, while an uncontrolled mind looks for problems. You get to decide which one you'll live with. If you want peace, you must train your mind to stay where your feet are. Most stress comes from living in the past or future. The past fills you with regret. The future fills you with worry. But in this moment right now, you are safe. You are alive. You are capable. Bring your mind back to now. When it drifts, pull it back gently. That's mental discipline, not perfection, but awareness. You can't stop thoughts from showing up, but you can choose not to entertain them. Think of it like someone knocking on your door. Just because they knock doesn't mean you have to invite them in. When a negative thought arrives, acknowledge it and move on. Don't give it a seat at the table. You control what stays in your mental space. Each day, practice feeding your mind with strength. Read something that uplifts you. Listen to voices that inspire growth. See words that support your direction. Every input shapes an output. The stronger the input, the more powerful the output. And when your mind is filled with truth, courage, and clarity, excuses and fear start losing their power. Remember, your mind's job is to protect you, not to evolve you. It will always choose safety over growth, unless you take control. You must teach it that discomfort is not danger, that effort is not pain, that uncertainty is not failure. That's how you retrain your thoughts to work for you, not against you. The moment you start controlling your thoughts, you start controlling your destiny. You stop reacting to every situation emotionally and start responding with clarity. You stop wasting energy on what you can't change and start using it on what you can. You become more peaceful, more focused, more in command of yourself. So take time each day to master your inner world. Your outer world is just a reflection of it. Don't let random thoughts dictate your life. Choose what to think, what to believe, and what to let go. The mind is a tool. Use it. Don't serve it. Because if you don't control your thoughts, they will control you, and they'll take you places you never wanted to go. But when you master them, they'll take you exactly where you're meant to be. Number 6, prove your worth to yourself through daily effort. No one can give you lasting confidence. No one can hand you self-respect or fulfillment. Those things are earned, and they're earned the same way every day, through effort. You can talk about goals all you want. You can dream about success. You can wish for change. But until you start proving your worth to yourself through consistent daily effort, nothing truly changes. The only person you have to convince that you're capable is the one who looks back at you in the mirror. There's something powerful about knowing that you've earned your own respect. It doesn't come from what others think of you or from what they say about you. It comes from the quiet moments when you keep your word to yourself, when you get up on the days you don't feel like it, when you finish what you started, when you give your best, even when no one's watching. That's where true pride is built. Not in the praise of others, but in the progress you create with your own hands. Too many people wait for validation before they act. They wait for someone to tell them they're good enough, talented enough, or ready enough. But the truth is, you become ready by doing. You build belief by showing up. Every day that you take action, you're proving to yourself that you can rely on your own discipline, your own consistency, your own drive. That's how you build trust with yourself. And once you trust yourself, your life changes completely. When you avoid effort, you may fool others, but you can't fool yourself. You know when you're not giving your best. You know when you're cutting corners. And each time you do, a small part of your confidence fades. The mind keeps score. It remembers the promises you break to yourself. It remembers the excuses. That's why effort matters. It repairs that relationship. It rebuilds self-trust. You can't lie your way to confidence. You have to earn it through action. Effort doesn't always show results right away, but it changes you immediately. The act of showing up gives you strength. The act of trying gives you momentum. You don't need to see the full outcome to feel progress. You just need to know you didn't quit. Every day that you push forward even a little, you send a message to your mind. I'm serious about my growth. That message gets stronger with repetition until it becomes who you are. Real worth is not found in comparison. It's found in contribution. It's found in showing up when you could have stayed still. It's found in the quiet discipline that says, I'll do what's right, not what's easy. When you live that way, you don't need to convince anyone of your value. They'll see it in how you move, but more importantly, you'll feel it in how you carry yourself. The difference between self-doubt and self-belief is action. Doubt fades when effort grows. You don't wait until you feel confident to begin. You begin and confidence follows. Every repetition, every small task, every hour of focused work chips away at insecurity. The process itself transforms you. You stop asking, can I do this? And start saying, I've done it before. I can do it again. There's a kind of peace that comes from knowing you've done the work. When you go to bed at night, and you can honestly say, I gave it my best today. That's the foundation of real satisfaction. Not perfection, not applause, just the quiet confidence that comes from effort. That's what builds mental strength. Not luck, not talent, not shortcuts, but steady, deliberate effort. Effort doesn't have to mean big achievements every day. It just means doing something that moves you forward. It might be reading a few pages that feed your mind, making a healthy choice for your body, practicing a skill, or finishing a small task you've been avoiding. The point is consistency. When you do small things daily with full effort, they add up to something massive. The compound effect of effort is unstoppable. You can't demand progress from a life you're not working for. You can't expect results from plans you never act on. The universe doesn't reward wishes. It rewards work. You might not always see immediate outcomes, but your effort is never wasted. Every small act of discipline shapes your character, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your spirit. Even when no one notices, it's changing you from the inside out. The most powerful proof of worth comes from what you do when no one else is around. That's when character shows. It's easy to work hard when others are watching. But what about when no one will ever know? Do you still give your best? That's where self-respect is earned. Because deep down, you always know the truth about your own effort. And that truth determines how you see yourself. There's no shortcut to feeling proud of who you are. Pride that lasts comes from effort that's real. You can buy attention. You can fake appearances, but you can't fake the feeling of having done the work. That sense of accomplishment is something you build one day at a time. You can't borrow it. You have to create it. Some days effort will feel heavy. You'll want to quit. You'll tell yourself that it doesn't matter, that skipping one day won't make a difference, but it always does. Because each day you either strengthen your habits or weaken. You're always training yourself in one direction, toward discipline, or toward excuses. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be consistent. When you start proving your worth through effort, you stop chasing validation. You stop waiting for applause because you already know your value. You know what you've endured, what you've built, and how far you've come. You know that you've shown up when it was hard. That kind of confidence doesn't fade because it's rooted in truth. You have to fall in love with the process of effort. It's not the rewards, not the results, the daily grind, because that's where the real transformation happens. Every day you push through resistance, you build more than skill. You build identity. You become the kind of person who follows through, who finishes, who refuses to quit. That identity will carry you through any challenge life throws at you. Your worth isn't measured by what you have, but by what you're willing to give. Every drop of effort counts. Every time you take one more step when it would be easier to stop, you strengthen your self-belief. That's the quiet power of effort. It doesn't just build your future. It builds you. It reshapes how you think, how you act, and how you handle life. You can't talk your way into self-respect. You can't convince yourself with empty affirmations. You earn it. You prove it. You build it brick by brick through effort. And when you've earned it, no one can take it from you. You can lose money, status, or opportunities, but the person you became through consistent effort stays with you forever. Every morning you have two choices: to stay the same or to grow. And growth always demands effort. Not once in a while, not only when it's easy, but every day. Each day is a new chance to show yourself what you're made of. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need to move until motivation finds you. The secret to lasting success is not luck or talent. It's the willingness to keep proving yourself through effort, long after the excitement fades. It's doing what needs to be done even when no one notices, even when it feels tedious, even when because those are the days that build resilience. Those are the days that separate the committed from the casual. In the end, no one can do your work for you. No one can give you your sense of worth. You must create it. One decision, one action, one day at a time. Every time you choose effort over ease, you're shaping a stronger version of yourself. That version is capable, grounded, and proud. Not because life was easy, but because you showed up anyway. So start proving your worth today, not to the world, but to yourself. Do the things that align with who you want to become. Work with focus, live with purpose, push a little harder than yesterday. Because at the end of the day, you don't need anyone else's approval. You just need to know that you gave your best. And that knowledge, that quiet certainty, is where real confidence begins, and never. Number 7. Break your patterns before they break your spirit. Every person has patterns, ways of thinking, reacting, and behaving that repeat over and over until they shape the direction of their life. Some patterns push you forward, but most hold you still. They are quiet routines that become invisible chains. They start small, a habit, a choice, a response, and then they grow stronger through repetition. Before long, they run your life without your permission. You wake up and realize you're living the same day, thinking the same thoughts, making the same excuses, and wondering why nothing changes. That's what patterns do. They trap you in comfort while draining your energy and ambition. If you don't break them, they break you. Not overnight, but slowly, until your spirit becomes dull and your hope feels out of reach. Breaking your patterns means interrupting the cycle of sameness that keeps you from growth. It's not just about stopping bad habits. It's about changing the way you see yourself. Because every pattern begins with a belief. You tell yourself a story, and your behavior follows it. You say, "I'm not good at that," and you stop trying. You say, "This is just who I am," and you stop evolving. You say, "I've always been like this," and you stop questioning why. These beliefs become walls, and you keep walking the same path inside them, never realizing that the door has been open the whole time. To change your life, you have to see your patterns clearly. Awareness comes first. You can't break what you don't recognize. Look at how your days unfold. What do you do when you feel stressed? How do you respond when things get difficult? Where do you escape when life feels uncomfortable? Most people repeat the same reactions without even noticing. They reach for distractions, avoid the truth, or settle into routines that bring no real growth. Awareness means facing the fact that you've been living on autopilot. It means admitting that your patterns have been running you more than you've been running them. Breaking those patterns takes courage, because it requires disruption. It means doing something different when your mind screams to stay the same. It means replacing comfort with challenge and ease with effort. At first, it feels unnatural, even wrong. Your mind will fight back, trying to pull you into old habits. It will tell you this isn't working, or you're wasting time. That's not truth. It's resistance. And resistance always shows up when change begins. If you push past it long enough, your mind learns that the new path is safe. That's when transformation begins to take hold. Many people mistake consistency for growth. They think that because they're busy, they're improving. But repeating the same behaviors that bring the same results isn't growth, it's stagnation. Dressed up as effort. Real growth demands that you do something unfamiliar, something that makes you uncomfortable. It's about breaking the loop that keeps you small. You can't build a new life while thinking the same thoughts and making the same choices that built the old one. Every breakthrough begins with a break from your routines, from your excuses, from your old self. You might be holding on to patterns that once served you but no longer do. Maybe you built them to survive pain, to protect yourself, or to feel in control. But what once kept you safe may now be keeping you stuck. Growth means outgrowing old armor. It means allowing yourself to move past outdated ways of living. It's not betrayal, it's evolution. You're not abandoning who you were. You're becoming who you're meant to be. If you've ever felt drained, uninspired, or restless, that's your spirit signaling that something's off. The human spirit thrives on growth. It needs change to stay alive. When you keep repeating the same cycles, same relationships, same thoughts, same mistakes, you suffocate that part of yourself that craves expansion. You start feeling tired for no reason, frustrated without clarity, lost without direction. It's not because life has no meaning. It's because your patterns are too small for the person you're becoming. Breaking them is how you breathe again. To break a pattern, start small but act decisively. Change one thing that repeats daily. A behavior, a choice, if you always start your day scrolling on your phone, replace it with 5 minutes of reflection. If you always avoid difficult conversations, have one honest talk this week. If you always eat your stress, go for a walk instead. Every small change sends a message to your mind. I'm in control. That's how you reclaim your power. One decision at a time. Don't expect it to feel easy. The brain loves familiarity. Even when it's destructive, it resists change because change feels uncertain. But discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're moving in the right direction. Each time you choose differently, you weaken the old pattern. With repetition, the new behavior becomes natural. What was once uncomfortable becomes normal. What once drained you starts to build you. That's how transformation actually happens. Not through massive leaps, but through consistent interruptions of the old cycle. Sometimes the hardest patterns to break are mental ones. The stories you repeat about yourself. I always mess things up. I'll never be disciplined. People like me don't succeed. These thoughts may have started as defense mechanisms, but they turn into cages. To break them, you have to prove yourself wrong through action. You can't think your way out of those beliefs. You have to act your way out. Each time you follow through, you give your mind evidence that you're different now. Slowly, the story changes. You begin to trust yourself again. Your environment can also reinforce your pattern. The people you spend time with, the spaces you occupy, the routines you maintain, they either support growth or maintain stagnation. If you keep surrounding yourself with the same energy that built your old habits, change will always feel like swimming against the current. Sometimes breaking a pattern means changing your environment entirely. It means stepping away from influences that pull you backward and seeking spaces that push you forward. Don't underestimate how much your daily environment shapes your mind. The cues around you trigger automatic behavior. If your desk is cluttered, your thoughts are scattered. If your schedule is chaotic, your focus disappears. If your time is spent with people who complain more than they act, you'll start doing the same. The simplest way to break an old pattern is to remove the triggers that feed it. Design your environment for progress, not for comfort. Breaking patterns also requires forgiveness. You can't grow if you're stuck in guilt. You may have repeated certain behaviors for years, and that's okay. You did what you knew at the time. Don't carry shame for what you're now learning to change. The moment you become aware, you gain responsibility. And responsibility means power. You're not defined by your past cycles. You're defined by your willingness to create new ones. When you start breaking patterns, people may not understand. They might question your changes or resist your growth. That's normal. Your shift threatens their comfort because it reminds them that they could change too. Don't let that stop you. You're not living to maintain other people's patterns. You're here to build your own truth. Keep going until your new habits speak louder than your old ones. Over time, breaking patterns becomes easier because you begin to see the results. You feel lighter. You feel more in control. You notice that your reactions are calmer, your focus sharper, your days more meaningful. You realize that life was never holding you back. It was your repetition of old choices. And now that you've broken them, you can breathe, think, and create from a place of freedom. Change doesn't happen by accident. It happens through awareness, courage, and consistent action. You have to be willing to disrupt yourself. You have to question everything that keeps you repeating the same results. The world doesn't change until you do. The life you want isn't hiding. It's waiting for you to outgrow the version of yourself that keeps settling. If you feel tired of your own habits, that's a good sign. It means your spirit is waking up. It's ready for a new rhythm, a new challenge, a new chapter. The longer you stay in the same loop, the more your potential fades. So choose to break free now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Take control of your patterns before they turn into regrets. When you break your patterns, you break the illusion that you're powerless. You realize that nothing outside of you has control unless you allow it. You start living with intention instead of reaction. You build habits that strengthen your character instead of weakening it. You become someone who grows on purpose, not by accident. If you want to protect your spirit, guard it from stagnation. Movement keeps it alive. Learning keeps it sharp. Growth keeps it strong. Break your patterns before they break your spirit, because nothing drains a human soul more than living the same story year after year and calling it life. You were made for more than repetition. You were made for evolution, and every time you choose to change, you remind yourself that you're still alive, still growing, and still capable of creating something better than yesterday. Number 8, stay uncomfortable long enough to grow stronger. Growth is never comfortable. It's not meant to be. It challenges your patience, your habits, and your sense of control. But the truth is simple. If you run from discomfort, you run from strength. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you choose short-term relief over long-term power. The people who rise, who evolve, who build real confidence are the ones who learn to stay uncomfortable long enough to grow stronger. Discomfort is the place where change happens. It's the space between who you are and who you want to become. But that space is never easy to stay in. It's filled with doubt, frustration, confusion, and uncertainty. Most people can handle it for a moment, but few can stay there long enough for transformation to take root. Growth takes time. You can't rush it, and you can't skip the hard parts. You have to sit in the uneasiness and keep working, even when nothing seems to be happening. That's where real progress hides, in the silence between effort and result. The reason discomfort feels so heavy is because it exposes everything you've been avoiding. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, your fears, and your limitations. It shows you where you've been settling and where you've been lying to yourself. But that's not punishment. It's guidance. Discomfort reveals the areas that need your attention. It's not there to hurt you. It's there to shape you. When you first start pushing yourself, everything inside you will resist. Your mind will tell you to stop. It will say, "This is too hard. You're not ready. This isn't working." Those voices are not truth. They're defense mechanisms. They exist to protect you from pain, but they also protect you from growth. The key is to recognize those thoughts and keep going anyway. Because the moment you stop listening to your limits, you start expanding them. The people who build endurance in life are not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who stay in the struggle until it makes sense. They don't give up when it gets hard. They lean in. They understand that discomfort is not a signal to quit, but a sign of progress. When your muscles burn during a workout, that's how they grow. When your mind feels stretched by challenge, that's how it gets stronger. Growth demands resistance. Without it, nothing changes. You have to remind yourself that discomfort is temporary, but what you gain from it lasts forever. The pain of discipline, the awkwardness of learning, the fatigue of effort, these all fade with time. What remains is the strength you built from enduring them. Every time you stay a little longer in discomfort, you expand what you're capable of. You train your mind to see difficulty differently. You stop asking, "How do I get out of this?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" There's a quiet power that comes from outlasting difficulty. When you stay in the discomfort of building something, you start to respect yourself on a deeper level. You realize that you're tougher than you thought. You learn patience. You stop craving instant gratification because you know what lasting progress feels like. You understand that the best things in life take time, and time always tests commitment. Most people quit before results appear, but the few who stay long enough to see them experience a kind of strength that can't be faked. Growth doesn't announce itself. It sneaks up on you in the form of small improvements. One day, you'll realize that what once felt impossible now feels normal. What once scared you now feels manageable. That's how you know you've grown. You can handle more than before, and you don't even notice when it happened. But that transformation only comes when you stay the course. You can't grow by chasing ease. Comfort feels good, but it rarely teaches. It keeps you where you are. Discomfort forces adaptation. It pulls out parts of you that you didn't know existed. It exposes hidden strength, hidden courage, hidden potential. Every time you face something that challenges you, you uncover a deeper layer of yourself. That's the beauty of struggle. It introduces you to the version of you that only appears under pressure. Think about it. Nothing meaningful in life is built through comfort. Every great achievement, every strong relationship, every skill worth mastering took discomfort. The student who studies late while others rest, the athlete who trains when no one watches, the person who confronts their fears instead of avoiding them. They're all living proof that growth and discomfort walk hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. When you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you stop fearing challenge. You start to see it as an opportunity. You stop running from the hard things and start running toward them. That shift changes everything. It changes how you work, how you think, and how you handle setbacks. You stop expecting an easy life and start building a strong one. The real test of growth isn't how you perform when things are smooth. It's how you respond when everything feels difficult. When you're tired, when you're frustrated, when nothing seems to move, that's when growth is happening quietly in the background. Your persistence during those times builds a foundation that no comfort zone can offer. Strength isn't built in ease, it's built in endurance. You'll never grow if you quit every time you feel uncomfortable. If you avoid every challenge that tests you, you'll stay exactly where you are. The more you protect yourself from difficulty, the weaker you become. But the more you expose yourself to it, the stronger you get. Life rewards those who are willing to stay a little longer in the fight, to stay focused when it's hard, to keep showing up when it's inconvenient, to push when the results are not visible yet. Discomfort teaches discipline, patience, and resilience, qualities you can't buy or fake. These are the traits that separate dreamers from doers. Anyone can start, but few can endure. Those who do find a kind of peace that comfort will never provide. Because comfort may feel good, but it doesn't make you proud. Discomfort may hurt, but it leaves you changed. When you start something new, it's natural to feel awkward. Whether it's a new skill, a new job, or a new routine, your mind and body resist the unfamiliar. That resistance is not a signal to stop. It's the beginning of adaptation. The discomfort means you're in the process of becoming someone different. Stay with it long enough, and it becomes part of you. That's how growth feels. It's awkward at first, painful next, and empowering later. You must stop seeing discomfort as the enemy. It's the teacher that most people ignore. It teaches you consistency, humility, and courage. It strips away ego and excuses. It forces you to focus on effort instead of outcome. When you learn to sit with that feeling, when you stop needing instant relief, you become unstoppable. Because nothing outside of you can shake a person who's learned to stay strong in the middle of struggle. Staying uncomfortable doesn't mean living in constant pain. It means choosing growth over ease. It means challenging yourself daily, pushing beyond what's familiar, and not retreating the moment life gets hard. You learn to find balance. You rest when needed, but you don't run from effort. You face challenges not because you enjoy struggle, but because you understand that without it, you'd never know your true limits. Every time you endure discomfort, you raise your standards. You start expecting more from yourself. You start realizing that strength isn't given. It's earned through repetition, through grit, through showing up again and again, when it's not exciting anymore. That's where real character is built. Not in comfort, not in praise, but in persistence. So when life gets uncomfortable, stay there. Don't run back to ease. Don't look for escape. Breathe through it. Work through it. Let it teach you, because in that discomfort lies your greatest growth. Stay long enough for the struggle to turn into strength, long enough for the unfamiliar to become second nature, long enough to see what you're truly capable of. One day, you'll look back at the times that tested you and realize they were the turning point. Those were the moments that built your discipline, your resilience, and your confidence. Growth isn't glamorous.
It's gritty, but if you can stay uncomfortable long enough, you'll emerge stronger than you ever imagined. You'll know that no matter what life throws your way, you can handle it. Because strength isn't built by avoiding pressure. It's built by standing in it until you rise.
Number 9, turn your pain into the reason you rise. Pain changes everyone. It either breaks you or builds you. It can destroy your confidence or develop your strength. It can make you bitter or make you better. The difference lies in what you choose to do with it. Life will always bring moments that hurt. Loss, failure, rejection, disappointment. But you decide whether that pain becomes your reason to quit or your reason to rise. Most people try to run from pain. They numb it, hide it, or pretend it doesn't exist. But pain ignored becomes poison. Pain faced becomes power. You can't avoid the moments that shake you, but you can decide what they mean to you. Every painful experience has the potential to become a turning point if you let it. When something hurts deeply, it exposes what truly matters. It strips away the illusions, the noise, and the lies you tell yourself. It reveals what's real. That's why pain, as cruel as it feels, often becomes the starting point of transformation. The moment you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" everything begins to change. Pain has a strange way of showing you your strength. It introduces you to the side of yourself that only appears when things fall apart. When life feels unbearable, you discover what you're truly capable of enduring. You find resilience that comfort could never teach. You realize that strength isn't built when life is easy. It's built when you have no choice but to keep moving. Those moments of pain carve out space inside you for growth. They make you wiser, tougher, and more awake to what matters most. Every scar tells a story, not of weakness, but of survival. Your scars are proof that you've been tested and that you're still here. They remind you that you've already faced darkness and walked through it. There's something sacred about that realization. It gives you quiet confidence. You stop fearing hardship because you know you've been there before. Pain becomes the teacher you didn't ask for, but desperately needed. It doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to reveal your depth. It's easy to get lost in pain and believe that it defines you. But pain is not who you are. It's what you've experienced. It's a chapter, not the whole story. You can use it as a reason to close yourself off or as fuel to open yourself up. The moment you decide that your pain will have purpose, it loses its power to control you. You start turning wounds into wisdom. You start using what hurt you to help you grow. When something breaks your heart or your spirit, it's natural to feel anger, sadness, or confusion. Don't suppress those emotions. Feel them fully. Pain demands acknowledgement before it can transform. But don't stay there. Don't build a home inside your suffering. Feel it, face it, and then rise from it. Let it shape you, not define you. The greatest strength is born from learning to carry pain without letting it harden you. Pain has the ability to either open your eyes or close your heart. The choice is yours. You can let it make you cold, or you can let it make you compassionate. You can let it shrink your world, or you can let it deepen your understanding of others. When you rise from pain, you rise with empathy. You start to see that everyone carries something unseen. You stop judging so harshly because you know what it feels like to struggle. That awareness makes you kinder, and that kindness makes you powerful in a different way. Every major breakthrough in life is born from a painful moment. When people lose everything, they often find clarity. When they're betrayed, they learn self-worth. When they fail, they discover what truly drives them. The pain becomes a mirror that reflects what's missing and what must change. You can't grow while living numb. It's only when life shakes you that you realize how badly you needed to wake up. If you let it, pain will teach you what comfort never could. It teaches patience when you have to wait for healing. It teaches humility when life humbles you. It teaches strength when you realize you can survive what you thought you could. It forces you to slow down, reflect, and rebuild yourself from the ground up. Pain breaks the false parts of you, so the real parts can emerge. You have to stop seeing pain as punishment and start seeing it as direction. It's trying to move you somewhere new. It's telling you that something about your life needs attention or change. Maybe it's a relationship that doesn't serve you. Maybe it's a dream you've been ignoring. Maybe it's a version of yourself you've outgrown.
Pain is not random. It's feed. When you listen to it, it guides you toward alignment and authenticity. Rising from pain doesn't mean pretending you're fine. It means refusing to stay broken. It means rebuilding piece by piece, even when it hurts. It means saying, this happened to me, but it won't define me. Each time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're taking power back. You're showing life that you won't be defeated. You're proving that pain can bend you, but it can't break your will. You don't have to have everything figured out to rise. You just have to take one honest step in the direction of healing. Start by forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for the things you didn't know, the mistakes you made while trying to survive, the times you stayed when you should have walked away. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens through daily choices to keep moving, to keep believing, to keep rebuilding. When you turn pain into purpose, it becomes lighter. It stops feeling like something that happened against you and starts feeling like something that happened for you. You begin to use it as motivation, to grow, to improve, to help others who feel what you once felt. That's how you transform suffering into service. That's how you make your story matter. The same pain that made you question everything can one day become the reason someone else finds hope. You may not control what hurt you, but you always control what you do next. You can stay stuck in bitterness, or you can rise with wisdom. The climb back up is never easy. Some days you'll feel strong, and other days you'll feel like collapsing. But remember, strength isn't the absence of pain. It's the willingness to keep going despite it. You don't have to heal perfectly. You just have to refuse to stay down. When you rise from pain, you change the meaning of what happened. It no longer becomes a story of defeat, but of rebirth. You begin to see that what once felt like the end was actually the beginning. You realize that pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to awaken you. You start building your life not out of anger or resentment, but out of understanding and gratitude for what it taught you. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary has turned pain into purpose. The loss, the failure, the heartbreak, they used it all as fuel. They didn't wait for motivation. They created it through endurance. They turned their struggles into lessons, their heartbreaks into drive, their setbacks into stories of strength. You can do the same. You have that same power within you. There's a quiet moment in every painful experience where you realize you've survived the worst of it. That's the moment you rise. You feel something shift inside, a calm clarity that says, I made it. That's when you start rebuilding, not from what was, but from what's possible. The pain that once felt unbearable becomes a reminder of your resilience. You start living with deeper purpose, greater patience, and stronger faith in yourself. You'll never completely escape pain. It's part of life, but you can decide that every time it comes, it will make you wiser, stronger, and more grounded. You can let it teach you what peace really means. You can use it as a reason to grow instead of a reason to give up. The choice is always yours. So take your pain, hold it, and look it in the eye. Don't run from it. Rise through it. Let it remind you that you're still here, that you still have fight left, that you still have purpose. Let it fuel your determination. Let it become the reason you keep climbing when others stop. Because once you learn to turn your pain into the reason you rise, nothing in this world can keep you down for long. Pain may visit, but it will never rule you again. It will become the proof of your power, the spark of your growth, and the story that shows the world what resilience really looks like.
Number 10, create a life that demands your full presence. Most people are living half awake. They move through their days on autopilot, repeating routines, chasing distractions, and mistaking activity for purpose. They're busy, but not fulfilled. Surrounded by noise, but starved for meaning. They talk about wanting more out of life, but they rarely stop to ask themselves what more really means. The truth is, life will never feel complete until you learn to be fully present in it. You can't experience joy in the past or the future. You can only experience it here, now. That's why the goal isn't just to exist. It's to create a life that demands your full presence. When you live fully present, you stop watching your life from the sidelines. You stop waiting for someday. You stop missing the small moments that actually matter. You begin to feel alive again. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're paying attention. You're connected to your choices, your actions, your emotions, your purpose. You start to live intentionally instead of mechanically. That's the difference between surviving and living. Surviving means getting through the day. Living means being in the day. Presence doesn't happen by accident. It's something you create. It's built by removing distractions, focusing on what matters, and giving your best energy to the moment you're in. Most people are pulled in every direction, thinking about the next thing before finishing the one in front of them. They're checking their phones while talking to people they love. They're working but wishing they were resting. Resting but feeling guilty for not working. They're everywhere but here. And that constant mental split drains the soul. You can't find peace in a life you're not fully participating in. To create a life that demands your presence, you have to design it intentionally. You have to stop saying yes to everything and start saying yes to what truly matters. You have to set boundaries that protect your time and attention. You can't live fully when your energy is scattered across 1,000 unimportant things. Every yes should be a choice, not a reaction. Presence begins with clarity. When you know what's meaningful, it becomes easier to give it your full attention. Most people are overwhelmed, not because life is too full, but because it's too empty of purpose. They fill their days with things that keep them busy but not fulfilled. They chase goals that impress others, but don't satisfy their own hearts. Then they wonder why they feel restless. Presence requires alignment. You can't be fully engaged in a life that doesn't reflect who you are. The more you live in alignment with your values, the more natural presence becomes. Presence also means slowing down. Not doing less, but doing what you do with more intention. When you eat, actually taste the food. When you talk to someone, actually listen. When you work, focus fully. When you rest, allow yourself to rest. Too many people rush through life, trying to reach the next moment. But the next moment never comes. It only turns into another now. The habit of rushing steals your ability to experience life as it happens. The more you practice slowing down, the more peace you'll feel, even in chaos. To be fully present, you also have to stop letting your mind live in regret or worry. The past is over. The future hasn't arrived. Thinking endlessly about either robs you of the only thing you can control, this moment. You can't change the past, but you can learn from it. You can't predict the future, but you can prepare for it by giving your best effort now. Presence is built through focus. Focus on the task, the person, the experience right in front of you. That's where your power is. Creating a life that demands your presence also means filling it with things that excite you, challenge you, and matter to you. When your life is meaningful, presence becomes effortless. Think about how alive you feel when you're doing something you love or helping someone you care about. That's because your attention and your heart are in the same place. Purpose is the bridge between activity and presence. Without it, everything feels shallow, no matter how successful it looks. You can't live fully engaged in a life that feels empty. You have to make choices that bring meaning back. Spend time with people who lift you up. Work on projects that challenge your mind. Take care of your health. Learn something new. Disconnect from the noise long enough to reconnect with yourself. When your life starts reflecting your values, your energy naturally follows. You stop drifting through your days and start shaping them. Presence also requires honesty. You can't be fully present in a life that's built on pretending. Too many people hide behind roles, achievements, or expectations. They smile when they're empty, agree when they disagree, settle when they want more. But living half-truths creates constant inner conflict. You can't be present when you're pretending to be someone you're not. The more authentic you become, the more grounded you feel. Truth brings clarity, and clarity brings peace. To live fully, you must also learn to manage your attention like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Every distraction you entertain steals a piece of your life you'll never get back. Every hour lost to meaningless scrolling or mindless routine is an hour taken from your growth, your peace, your joy,
Pay attention to where your focus goes each day. Presence is not just about being here. It's about being aware of where here is for you. Living with full presence doesn't mean life will be easy. It means you'll face it awake. You'll feel your emotions more deeply. Joy, pain, excitement, frustration. But that's the point. To live fully is to experience the full range of being human. Too many people avoid feeling anything real, and that avoidance leads to numbness. When you choose to live fully, you choose to feel, and through feeling you understand yourself and the world better. A present life is also a grateful life. Gratitude pulls your attention back to the moment. When you start appreciating the small things, the sunlight, a good meal, a kind word, you stop chasing happiness somewhere else. Gratitude reminds you that fulfillment isn't waiting in the distance. It's already here. The habit of gratitude deepens presence because it trains your mind to notice what's good instead of what's missing. Presence grows when you take responsibility for how you live. Stop blaming circumstances or waiting for motivation. You create meaning by showing up. You create fulfillment by giving your best effort where you are. You build peace by accepting what you can't control and acting on what you can. Life stops being something that happens to you and starts being something you actively shape. That's when you begin to feel powerful again. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're fully involved in it. Creating a life that demands your full presence also means embracing challenge. When something matters deeply, it asks for all of you. Your focus, your effort, your heart, growth, contribution, love. These things aren't half-hearted pursuits. They require depth. The most rewarding experiences in life are the ones that ask you to show up completely. That's what makes them fulfilling. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing what matters with everything you've got. When you live that way, you stop chasing balance and start living with harmony. Balance is about managing. Harmony is about aligning. Your work, your relationships, your growth, they stop competing for your attention because they all come from the same place, your purpose. You start making choices that reflect who you are instead of who you think you should be. That's when life feels whole. A life that demands your presence will challenge you to grow constantly. It won't let you hide behind comfort or distraction. It will stretch you, surprise you, and humble you. But it will also reward you with peace, clarity, and fulfillment that no shortcut can give. You'll stop feeling like you're waiting for life to begin because you'll be living it every day. You'll wake up with energy, go to bed with contentment, and know that your time is being used well. Presence turns ordinary moments into meaningful ones. It turns work into purpose, relationships into connection, and struggle into growth. When you give life your full attention, it gives you back something priceless: clarity, depth, and joy. The point is not to chase a perfect life, but to live a real one, fully aware, fully engaged, and fully alive. So start removing what keeps you distracted. Start saying no to what drains you. Start paying attention to what matters. Give your best energy to your purpose, your people, your health, and your growth. Build a life so full of meaning that it requires your full attention every single day. Because when you create a life that demands your presence, you stop existing and start living in a way that truly matters. Before you move on with your day, stop for a moment and ask yourself, are you living with direction, or are you just moving? Because the truth is, time doesn't wait. Every day without a plan is a day you don't get back. But every day with intention is a step closer to the life you keep imagining. If this message hit you, don't just nod and scroll away. Start today. Write down one goal, one small plan, one real action that puts your life in motion. You don't need to know every step, you just need to begin. Progress will meet you halfway once you move with purpose. And if this spoke to you, come back. This space is built for people like you, those who want more than just words, those who are ready to grow for real. Subscribe, stay connected, and keep building your life with intention, because your plan is where your progress begins.